Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself I am Logos Jogi. I have completed MSc in Agriculture Seed Science and Technology, specialization Seed Science and Technology from HNB US Central University Srinagar Uttarakhand in 2020. I have got 52 rank in PhD program Seed Science and Technology from Indian Council of Agriculture Research ICR All India Entrance Examination for Admission in 2021. Today I am going to tell about the topic seed production of sugar crops. Sugarcane. Land requirements. Select fields in which sugarcane crop was not grown in the previous 1 year. To avoid the reduce the disease incidence such as red rot, wilt, etc. Long duration crop rotations should be adopted. The soil should be fairly rich and the fields well drained with no previous history of water logging. The irrigation must be hazard areas where in incidence of borers, mealybugs and scales is more than 20% should be not selected for seed cane production. Isolation requirements. Only one variety may be grown at the farm. In any case, the seed plot must be isolated at least by 5 meters all around from other sugarcane fields. Classes and sources of seed. The following classes and seed may be recognized. 1. Nucleus seed. The initial clonal stock selected by the breeder. Second, breeder seeds. The progeny of nucleus seed raised from heat treated seed cane under the supervision of a plant breeder. The production should be supervised by breeder seed monitoring team comprising of a pathologist, entomologist, plant breeders. 3. Foundation seed. The progeny of breeder seeds rise from heat treated seed cane. The production should be supervised by the sugarcane breeder, pathologist and entomologist. 4. Foundation seed. Second, primary seeds. The progeny of foundation seed first supervised by the competent staff. 5. Certified seed. Commercial seeds. The progeny of foundation seed. Second, the production should be supervised by the competent staff. Brief culture practices. 1. Preparation of land. 1 to 2 deep ploughing and 1 cross ploughing followed by disc harrowings or repeated ploughing by desi plough followed by leveling till the land is reduced to a fine tilth are required. After this, the field is irrigated for its final preparation by harrowing or ploughing by desi plough followed by leveling. Second, time of planting. The planting of seed crops should be so adjusted that the seed crop is harvested at 8 to 10 months as in tropical and at 10 to 12 months as in subtropical regions of the country. 3. Source of seed. The seed material to be used for raising seed materials should be obtained from nucleus or breeders or foundation seed first and second nursery. The seed materials to be used must conform to the variety and the free of insect damage and visible scale insect and disease infection. As a further safeguard, examine at least 5% set of detecting incipient nodal infections of red rot by actual scraping of the nodes and detection of leaf scabbed infection by slicing the set. Upon detection of any of these infections, reject the whole lot for seed purpose. For pre-planting seed treatment. First, heat treatment for breeders and foundation seed. First, the seed canes meet for planting must be heat treated by any of the following two techniques A. With hot water 50 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, or B. With hot air 54 degrees Celsius coupled with 95% humidity for 4 hours. Second, prophylactic plant protection measures. The seed set should be dipped in a organomercurial compound aglol or irritant 0.1% solution for 10 minutes before planting in the furrows. After placing the sets is furrow, gamma BSC 20% EC solution at the rate of 1 kg active ingredient per hectare should be poured on the set or else 10% BSC dust at the rate of 1 kg active ingredient per hectare should be applied. 5. Method of planting. Planting of seed crop can be made in any of the following manners. First, flat planting. In this method, sun furrows 10 cm deep are opened at a distance of 90 centimeters. The set are placed in therm in them end to end and covered with 5 to 7 centimeter soil and the field is leveled. Second, furrow planting. In this method, furrow are opened with a risers about 10 to 15 centimeter deep in northern India and 20 centimeter deep is peninsular India. Sets are laid end to end in furrow and covered with 5 to 7 centimeter of soil, leaving the upper portion of the furrow unfilled. The South Indian states immediately after planting and covering the sets water is let in the furrow. The row to row spacing is kept at 90 centimeters. Third, space transplanting technique. This is a few technique which is minimize and the input levels and shoots for quick production for multiplication of nucleus and breeder seeds and also shoot seeds grower with small holdings. A. Rising of a settling nursery. For planting 1 hectare it is sufficient to raise a settings nursery in 50 square meter area as month before actual planting. Small plots of approximately 1 square meter are made and the single bud sets down from the upper half of the cane stalk by cutting just above the growth ring and leaving 8 to 10 centimeter of the internode below the bud are doubled vertically, keeping the bud and the root bends just above the soil surface. In each these small plots, approximately 600 to 800 single bud sets are accommodated. After doublings, the sets are covered with dried cane leaves and kept in position with a light soil cover. The nursery is irrigated frequently to maintain optimum moisture conditions. Water stagnation inside to the nursery beds is avoided. 85 to 95% of the buds sprout within 3 to 4 weeks time and 3 to 4 green leaves appear and most of the settings of by this times. This is the right stage of space planting in the field. B. Transplantation of settings or preparation of settings. Settings should be carefully removed from the nursery and detopped with a sharp knife. The detopped settings are then detopped in 0.1% irritant solution and taken out immediately. Portions of setting nursery about 2000 to 2500 settings is reserved for gap filling in the field at later stage. Transplantations The transplanting of settings is done at a distance of 90 centimeter between row and 60 centimeter within rows. In case moderate tillering varieties are in the let planting, the spacing between row and within the rows may be reduced to 75 centimeter and 45 centimeter respectively. Can row are opened and the settings are transplanted with them at the requisite distance. Thereafter, the field is irrigated and kept in moist conditions by the frequent irrigations. After about 10 days of transplanting, the gaps occurring due to mortality of settings are filled by transplanting settings from the reserve portions of nursery and irrigated immediately. After the settings are established, normal cultural practices like irrigations, hoeing, etc. are given as and when needed. 5. Fertilization. The fertilizer requirements depends upon the soil and climatic conditions, and these should be worked out on the basis of soil test. For seed crops, the fertilizer requirements are approximately 25% higher than commercial crops. In general, however, under North Indian conditions, apply 60 to 75 kg nitrogen, 100 kg phosphorus, and 75 kg potash per hectare at the time of planting, and 60 to 75 kg nitrogen per hectare after 82 100 days, and the 30 to 75 kg nitrogen per approximately 4 to 6 weeks before harvest. Under South Indian condition, these doses will be 125 to 150 kg nitrogen, 125 kg phosphorus, and 100 kg potash per hectare at the time of planting. 125 to 150 kg nitrogen after 80 to 90 days, and 40 to 50 kg nitrogen per hectare approximately 4 to 6 weeks prior to harvesting. It is advisable to apply half of nitrogen in the form of bulky organic matter such as FYM compost, and the remainder in the form ammonium sulfate of oil cakes or combinations of the two. The bulky organics should be plugged into the soils sufficiently in advance of planting. Oil cakes are usually given at the time of planting, and ammonium sulfate in 2 or 3 doses are planting or tillering at earthing up the 4 to 6 weeks prior to the harvest of seed crops. 6. Irrigation. The maintenance of optimum soil moisture during all stages of crop growth is one of essential requisites for rising to good seed crop. In tropical India, usually 1 or 2 waterings are given at intervals of 3-4 days after plantings to help the seeds to germinate and the seedlings to establish themselves. Thereafter, in the absence of rain, the cane crops should be irrigated at an interval of 10 to 12 days during its growing period. Subsequently, and the frequency of irrigations is reduced. In northern India, the crop needs water more frequently. In summer, the autumn crops require on an average 7 irrigations, 5 before the monsoon rains and 2 after recedings of the monsoon. Of spring crop may be need 6 irrigations. However, in drier climates and light soils, 8 to 10 irrigations may be necessary. 7. Drainage. Like irrigation, this drainage is also equally important, particularly in low and or waterlogged areas. All the excess water must be drained out from the fields if they get flooded during rainy seasons. At interculture and aftercare, the first hoeing and weeding should be given the crop 3 to 4 weeks after planting. In some pockets wherein weeds come up rapidly in the planted must fields, one blind Hoeing should be given within the 1 or 2 weeks after planting. After germination, depending upon the field condition and frequency of irrigations, 2 or 3 more hoeings and weedings are required during the first 3 months after planting. Good care in weedings and interculture helps the clumps to tailor well and from cans yearly. The crops should be so managed that is grow rapidly to have a canopy cover a shading over the interspace. The shadings adversely affect the growth of weeds and thus keep their populations very low. 9. Earthing and time. It is usual to earth up the crop before monsoon rains. Besides earthing, it is also desirable to tie up the cans so that they may be not sway during the winds and logs. The best way to tying it is wearing together the stalks from adjacent row to tie then together with their oven trays and old leaves. 10. Plant protection. Integrated schedule for the control of major disease and pest must be put into operation. Schedule of plant protection measures. Insect, termites, borers, control measures. Apply gamma BSC 5% heptachlor and indosulfan at 1.0 kg active ingredient per hectare over the can sets in furrow at the time of planting. Pyrilla, dust the crop with 5% BSC dust at 20 to 30 kg per hectare after removing to lower most leaves bearing egg masses or spray the crop with 0.03% monocrotophos dimethoate phosphoferidone phosphomidone or methyl demetone. Special care should be taken cover the undersurface of leaves. White gar 1 week after heavy monsoon shower apply BSC 10% dust at 100 kg per hectare. Repeat the process after the 1 month. Also collect beetles and at light traps or 1 small branches of neems or peepals. Scales, spray the crop with 0.1% malathion emulsion. Also strip off dry leaves. Aphid hoppers, spray the crop with 0.1% malathion solution or 0.03% dimecron solutions. Top borer, stalk borer, apply 4% carvil or indosulfan granules in leaf walls or spray 0.05% monocrotophos solution during June, July and August or mix 30 kg furidine in the soil at the end of June. Insect control measures. Rust, spray the crop with dithane Z70 at 2.5 per hectare in the endemic regions. Removal of dry leaves in monthly intervals from August to October and collection to desuring of leaves bearing egg masses is necessary to keep the crop free from the build of pest population in the field. Rogging, out clumps affected by smooth grassy shoot disease, red rot wilt from time to time. Also remove plant inspected by infested by borers as and when noticed, both at a time of planting and at the time of harvest. Sort out reject of types can stalks differing from the typical characteristics of the variety under seed production. Harvesting and aftercare. The harvesting should commence when the seed can is approximately 8 to 10 months of age tropical regions and 10 to 12 months of age in subtropical regions. However, before cutting the crop of obtaining seeds and the seeds field is given good irrigation during cutting and further handling of the crop. Every efforts must be made to avoid damage to the buds. Also, the harvested cans should be processed quickly. As matter of fact, the harvesting of seed crops should be commenced only after the field has been finally prepared and the other arrangements such as transportations transportations etc have been made. The harvested cane should not be allowed to dry up, and if there are any delays in planting, water springs should be done on the cans of checking drying of the cans. All such cans showing disease, insect inspection infestations, and the off types cans must be culled out and rejected for seed purposes. It should be ensured that no mixture of cans of different varieties take place either during harvest or transportations of seed cans to the plot. The seed pieces or sets should be prepared and immediately planted after the requisite treatments. Thanks.